buy it right now. Stop the video, buy it now. Hello there, fellow humans. Welcome to the T54E2 and the Object 252U. Probably one of the best bundles that have ever been sold in Blitz, and that is quite a statement right there. I mean, considering for, well, just 500 gold less, you can get a terrible tier 8 medium tank, and for 500 gold more, you can get two of the very best tier 8 tanks in the game. So, in terms of that, this is an amazing bundle. You have a great all-round tank and a great heavy tank, so whichever one you prefer more, you're gonna get some great value out of this bundle. And both of them are excellent for making creds, both of them are excellent for playing well, and they're also, even if you're interested, good for tournaments. So, let's have a look at the stats, and then let's play these two. So let's first look at the stats of this vehicle, and one of the things I want to compare it to is the MX M449, because it was basically sold last week. So, what you can see here, the MX has a slightly better gun than the T54E2, and that is both in standard and premium penetration, and also in the DPM. The Object has 1900 DPM, but it has 420 alpha damage, so it does gain there as well. The T54E2 in this comparison does have the best weapon handling and aim time, however, it does lose to a couple of tanks, like, for example, a Chieftain T95. So, it is not the greatest in tier 8, but it is certainly one of the best. Well, the 252U has it relatively bad here in terms of the weapon handling and also in terms of the gun depression, whereas the T54 and the MX do have 10 degrees. So basically, for me, the three best tier 8 tanks are the T54E2, the MX M49, and the Chimera. So if you own either of these three, then you're set up very great. Now, I rarely do recommend tanks, because obviously if I recommend something like a 59 Patton, then like 3 of you are actually going to enjoy the vehicle. Whereas most people are going to be able to do something with a T54E2 or an Object 252U, because they're somewhat different playstyles. So if you buy both, you're going to like one more than the other, obviously, but you're going to have two very great, very competitive vehicles that are going to make you a lot of creds as long as you play somewhat decently at the game. So, in terms of the armor as well, you have strong armor on both of these vehicles. Now, the 252U is stronger on the sides and the rear. American rears are very weak, so if you are behind an American tank, try to HE them. Most of the time, it is going to pen. So, essentially, the T54E2, it is not great at anything, however, it is perfect because it is well-rounded. It is good at everything, and that's what makes it so great. And the same goes for the MX M49, which trades a tiny bit of gun performance, more gun performance for a bit of less armor. So that is also an amazing tank. Unfortunately, it is not in the shop anymore. Now, the 252U, same story there. It's a great tank. However, I'm not a big fan of it personally because of the horrible weapon handling and the horrible gun depression. However, as a heavy tank in close range combat, it is very strong and very good as well. So I can only recommend this bundle now, and it's way better than something like a 122 TM or a CDA for 15,000 gold. You get great value for great tanks, and that is what matters. So now, let's start with the T54E2, and if you don't forget to like and subscribe, and also join the Discord server, link to that in the description. Let's go. There we go with the T54E2, which is an amazing vehicle because it is so perfectly well-rounded. The only downside that this vehicle has is that it's not the E50M, basically, or the Chieftain. Yeah, tier 8 is the best tier to make creds at. If you want to make creds, you go to tier 8. All the other have worse credit coefficients and worse credit efficiency as well. Credits are always made at tier 8, otherwise you're just wasting time and resources if you're doing it otherwise. So, basically what you have here is you have a perfect all-rounder tank, a tank that can do absolutely everything that you throw at it. Now, ideally, you don't go into the city with this vehicle at all, ever, because this is a hold-down vehicle primarily. So, if you do put this thing into a city, well, you're handicapping it quite a lot of what it can do. Now, it can pull it off, just not very well, which both is very important. Now, just because it can do everything doesn't mean you should do everything with it, and ideally, you want to play in a situation where you can hide the hull and play around the gun depression and the third armor of this vehicle, which is very strong. You do have the cupola on top, however, you have very good mobility on this vehicle, which means if you keep it wiggling well enough, you won't have to bother with anyone being able to hit your cupola, especially if they're mobile players, because then it is going to be very hard to actually hit you. So yeah, turn on the same. If you're playing on mobile, turn on the same control mode, and it's going to be a lot better for you. Now there's an AMX. Now obviously, one thing that you need is first of all a camouflage, ideally, because otherwise you look a bit like a noob. And you also want to have to know how to play these vehicles. They're not gonna play themselves, obviously. These tanks do not play themselves. The 2FTU a bit more so than this one. Like the 2FTU is a bit easier to play, but you still need to know how to play a hull down heavy properly. That's not the topic of this video, though. Now, how do we do this, ideally? The convoy is down there, which means there is no one back there anymore. The Rugero's dead, the Balsic's dead, so that side is cleared out, which is great because now you can focus over here, use the 10 degrees against depression, down the hill, ideally, and some damage done here, just like that. Beautiful. Okay, now maybe the convoy could be a target here if he's not looking at me. He is looking at me, but I have armor, so that's fine. Okay, it'd be nice to take him out though. But first the MX. Nope, he's dead. Beautiful. And now, still 10 degrees against depression. Could use that to peek down onto T34. Well, he's trying to somewhat escape or anything like that, but it's not going to help him at all. Just going to go up here, 10 degrees, boom, dead. And now that leaves this IS-6 here, which is also going to be a nice little target down there. Look at that gun depression. I can just get all the way down. He is going to be able to pen me from down there, obviously, because I peek with the lower plate first. But because obviously I have 310 alpha damage, which is less than him, I can re-peek and do 600 damage, if I do hit, that is, where he can only do 400. So now I'm a one-shot, so I'm going to have to watch out. But I got enough teammates left to be able to survive that. So I'm just going to wait up here, and until he breaks his focus with me, he's probably going to hide behind the house or something like that. But that's perfectly fine. Now the IS-6, definitely not a tank I would recommend to buy. Especially not for like 7,000 gold where it's sold at, because it's only marginally better than the IS-5, which is essentially a third, but it's sold for 1,500 gold. So if you're really on a budget, get for the IS-5, but you can't expect much performance from that thing. Whereas with this one, you have one of the best tier rates in the game. If not the best. Probably the best, actually. So, yeah, would definitely recommend this one. And also, obviously, with the bundle with the 2FTU, not a personal fan of the 2FTU. I'll talk about that more, but this tank, absolutely do recommend it. If you're looking for a premium tank, buy this and buy it fast. Now, while the T54E2 leans more into the direction of a main battle tank, this one here is more of a traditional heavy tank, and it can work well in a city. Now, you still shouldn't go there because cities tend to be very bad, especially for tanks. So I wouldn't go there, even with this vehicle. Now, it can side scrape amazingly. However, what you have to watch out for is that these plates are angled backwards, like this. So you can be penned if there's a wall here, this plate sticks out. With premium ammo, you can be penned in that plate. But you can side scrape excellently with this vehicle, which is very nice. Now, a spot like this isn't going to be great for a vehicle like this. However, obviously at the beginning of the battle, if the enemy chooses to go to that side, it is a lot of very easy shots, because even with 6 degrees of gun depression, you can still get all the shots in from here. And now we can try to... Dang, man's shooting on the move. Get that going. Now that T69 is going to die, but that is very unfortunate. I'm going to have to try to offset that somehow. Balsic's already a one-shot, so... Oh, and he's dead. There we go. Gonna use the APCR rounds in this vehicle. Whoever designed this bridge, I hate you. Kind of. Yeah, the bridge is not really fun. Like, either make it closed, or just make less pillars. Don't just make one every 2 millimeters, so it's like you can shoot through it, but you're not supposed to. Okay, AT-15, very well armored vehicle, but obviously very slow, and it doesn't have a turret, so there's that. I keep shooting that guy. 1.6k damage so far. We're down by one guy, but the AT is one shot. The defender is gone, which is great. And the biggest, well, the one tank that can actually outtrade me on the enemy team is Balsic's up. Might want to have a go at him. Because every other tank, I will have more damage per shot than them. Look at that accuracy. But then again, it's a Russian tank, so you're gonna hit it anyway. a lot of the times. Come on, stop. Nope, stop. Okay, he got stopped. There we go. That was bad HE, but that's unfortunate. Okay, now I'm gonna go up here. There's the Baltic, and there is also the excellent armor on this vehicle, making it work. Baltic got pretty good penetration, but apparently not enough for the 2FTU. Okay, Tiger, and the rest of them are up here as well. The AT is already a one-shot. I have no idea where the T49 is, but it's a T49. He can't pen me. So, Borsig. There we go. Get rid of him. And now, should ideally prioritize the Tiger in terms of hit points. Can take him out a lot easier. And there he is, and he's also stock. So he double can't pen me. I'm gonna, nope. Don't have the gun depression to use HE on his lower plate, unfortunately. But, yeah, he does not seem to be smart cookie. But, yeah, this is Blitz. I'm gonna peek out sideways because I don't care. And, there we go. That's the accuracy there. Obviously, you don't want to snapshot with a tank like this. Ideally, always at a close range, fully aim your shots. Then you have the highest chance of actually hitting something. And also, use HE where you can to maximize your damage, because also high alpha damage gun also has good HE rounds most of the time. And here comes the Tiger, and that is 1,300 damage, around 3,600 damage as well with the Object 2FTU. Even better game than the T54. Now, the T54 is the better tank, no doubt about that, but it just happens to be two random games don't really say much about tanks. Keep that in mind. So, it's always just a display, not this is exactly how you play the tank. It's more of this is how it can go sometimes, basically, because obviously in 2 games, there is no way to accurately, and that's an ace actually, there is no way to accurately show how a tank plays all the time. But, go away. These 2 tanks in this bundle is one of the best things that you can buy in the whole of Blitz. So I definitely recommend this. What I also recommend is checking out my Twitch channel and my second channel, and also join my streams on YouTube and Twitch if you want to. And as always, thank you very much for watching. See you for the next one. Goodbye.